or die away. Chum brony, so I'm bad, I'm dying. So I'm bad, I'm dying. So I'm bad, I'm dying. So I'm bad. You turn me on. So I'm dying. Cause the winner, so I'm bad. Girl, so I'm dying. Would you want to so I'm dying.
Shout outs to you, man, Christy Toyota. Was a check me a few 36 minutes late. Come fit away, you'll find a bomb. Johnny Famo, Johnny Famo, Jane or Modoja. Many were watching on again your Pamela. When you're many your Europe, if I'm going to get period, do my feet.
See you, I think say I feel believe you. Now I became a
so find a Johnny Famo on a care, Kiamoko ni body. Abafita way, you watch Alabama ni body. What she walk belay.
All of your load is not easy. Always today on the phone call. I say who be that, but you know talk. No, then you
find a call by Fita man Christy and you go back. Ever me hello a chat session on.
Just go to with coffee.
Animal I can go over Fita. When I'm born near you.
How you go explain no? Yeah.
Today you go answer to me. Ready with stories. Over the Johnny Famo, I'm continue. Over the I'm continue.
Come talk to me. You got your best and your best. Yeah.
Shout outs to you, Mamily Toyota.
But now you can show me something when you never showed before. Okay, you know nothing about point to point. This is how you up on me again. See what you've done to me.
Shout outs to you, Maoti boy Ojoba.
See what you've done to me. See what you've done to me.
Today you go answer. My brother will. Shout outs to you, Mr. Kwate. Don't come and fit our ear ball. Come on, me alone a chat session on. I'm continue the young way. Come on, come on, me pay your fine. Many your Ghana, many your Europe. Me pay your fine. When game 40.
I'm gonna give you one more chance. You just do what in my life. I'm gonna give you one more chance. So,
Mama, they know Johnny Famo. Kiamoko. Baba fit our yet, but they didn't care. Come on, me hello, your chat session. Continue. So far, me 80 pair like you show. Mama, they know I'm continue. Continue.
You got your best. You got your best.
How about Trashi? That's right. How about Abba. Oh, fine. I'm continue. Hey, when you again? You know what I get. Shout outs to you, Uncle Ike. Uncle Ike, go find a Toyota. Johnny Femo, and when you mean you are Europe, I mean, I come and no question later on a ball, time Chucky, so I can understand. I can understand. I can. Oh, womo. Can you be an Ekata April? Nakanji boni time bafi. Can you baby and I no me say honey nugget you go. I can tell from the numbers. No, I ain't got more she baka. Find a Johnny Femo. Share more link. WhatsApp platforms I don't know your can me Facebook. Ball groups I mean know your bomber den cafe and me onu. Shout outs to you at all can't buy import find a Toyota. Johnny Femo. Why 9 pe won kwe. Why 9 pe benili nke awo. Dia na why 10. Europe bi ame wo. Maoti pe ni le shipe. Maoti, Oiwalado, thank you so much. Johnny Femo, mene ya audio ni machomabu. Dansoman Mantse, Nii Kojo Danso ni jienyo. The story any wafe. Mene a little background story from English Alatabia perspective, and especially Danso wekue ni amame kwa Dansoman shikonjia no alo Dansoman shikonjia no ya ameshishie. Like I know it has been established. Okay, the Danso family shikonjia ni yo Dansoma ameshishie yo. Ichobo nakaino mo wafe a lot of stories a couple of months ago. So no mla engono ake shikoji eni yo Danso mankokpa no fe Danso mambia no Danso gwekue ni Danso ni jenyoji manche le eni kenkle jimoni English alata stule ke na kanje me shikoji hale. No it has been well established through the courts ake na kan shikoji fe Danso wekue amame no. Ni Danso wekue tomobe no lie ameye English alata shishi. We were ene English alata hu eyemi ojoban. Mine jino ni wache ni Danso ewe yeneke Panbros shipone ke gbawe bi ye wanyeme ni yo gbawe no ni poteni amefio yeneke no konehi matwa ni Danso audio ma bo agbene wenye nke bo akenye document ko ni impeshu ake manye makane ma bo shi mene ani na li ake manye makane na ken document ma habu Nike obononi wache ni Danso yue to ni okwa na ken document then ni entao ni ebalake na ken jeme wanyeme gbawe biye amebeno ko klom ye jeme. Now maybe I'm on a document keji ameka ame no ba nini ne she no inka ba chom she so far documents nini ne she no ye English alatabia de echon no ko ake echon no kwa ni court ehe awonu je amede nche documents we na ameka mbae she court the documents ni court ehe awonu. That's why me ni adomo can document no I can rule on cases come on aboni ni yo always today on the phone call I say who be that but you know talk loading your phone with the password minute because Jade na won ke ko be ba chombo documents any ne shepino p shout outs to you Uncle Johnny you find a boy ojuba explain no yeah today they share court documents baba oh no baba oh. Brand new stories, She once again one face show name Becky. Ni boli to mobeni nkebe wanyeme ni Europe many me kwala me shikpeshi ba meti ame people ewo. Shout out to you Auntie Maggie Osuyo Papa find a boy Ojuba. No can Nii Danso UMO Habu Makale just one of the documents in relation one Pemahabu from 1989.
Sweetie darling, I used to call you this and more, but now you can show me something.
Once again, creating document that goes as far back as 1989. Nakanjame bawebi e shipon yejeme e ameni akete court ni ayuake nakanjame shipon je bawebi ano. Like I said, I have some of the court documents. Today you go answer to me. Oh, fine, Johnny Femo, be anyway 21 question May 15. Pay like you need to get 5 feet away now. Me like it. Bomber them, look. Nuchumoni what you body and jolly. I can Nuchumoni chatter, plug him when I'm Jemole blow, no plug him when you give you one more chance. It's just a worry my life. I'm gonna give you one more chance. Hey, can we plug in? When or the top one? Give you one more chance. You just the worry my life. I'm gonna give you one more chance. Tell me what happened to you. Today you go. Blow, chata, no kakunu, blow. When it was stars, come talk to me, oh. Yeah. Today you go answer to me, oh. Got it. My friend, I check on the baby. So finally, Ishibami, Bomode, Johnny Femo. Nika eneme enya keji ne kan no kwale e boy koje pe wabana lumwena me amesumoni woya no because ni e balake look lumwe piye anu kwale ona boni ni eyo ni kinoko about prevent the future generation from doing the same mistakes ni eya no currently if I plug my laptop and you can't get me ona boni ni eyo. So no one if your shows name. That is why I do this. Sometimes call yourself I feel boring can happen. But only blame up. I mean what's you know be well, we need to fix some of these mistakes. If your mistakes. But because we are no quality in can Jamie me and you Jamie. In the court documents come ni chwaga bawebi ame o shikwe ame come je me na kete court ni judge ye you ake na kan me be shikwe o je ama me no now ike ake ame be shikwe nko kla ye je me da bi no firu na me claim o je me na ya wa eko but most of the time ame ya more than any ame no na ya wa ni ame both your English yala tabia no me do anything for you. Be like say you do me juju. In the check out document koklapo ni charge specify any bawe bi ameshiko enabawa. So sometimes I don't know why we keep doing this to ourselves because once again look, my channel is more than ready to give you the opportunity. Documents I can harm in Peru so in any sunny account. Get you feel like I can no harm any Jane can any boy yet no cone bacho contrary to no nation no ni court to here then ye shibami o fine and in the ashen. O kaleche eba fita boy. So Johnny Femo. But she didn't turn a wajinina clearly. Chameganyame. Shukwe, Nekendo Kone, to Benin Cobwe, English Yala Tabia. Especially, can you want you Panbros, any Panbros, your English Yala Tabia, no court documents, Nina, Chomia, can Jeme, English Yala Tabia, no titri. Jenoni nukentu e kenye court document ni bawe bi ama o shikwe ko ye ko ni judge e ka ma ake na kenjeme je nye no ni danso we ku e no ni So me na fake back so onye nke na document e fa achonbo shi to mo be ni nke abo ke chonye matwa woche Nii Kojo Danso ni jienyo ni ji Dansoman Mantse matwa audio matwa ken gbe na ke wo 1989 document ken kane abo ke waka wani femo e banagbe once again e call ya Europe mi npa bo fai je mi 14 ife ko late what time ni echaki so far ne ye ishiba mi bo mo de ni oja ni femo when you Europe be like I said, Ming Panya Faiwa, Liagan Fenya, in the Yenagani, but Tabia no in a number semi, no me say Fakula, in Liagan Tiabi Piano. Menele were 28 per 1 que as of now, Sanish were been a wobble 40s neon. Me twagelele nyewo so far ne ko je chelebu ni okwe kekeni ife ko late what time e chaki ona boni ni yo wanyemi the whistle e batashi
if I dey call you baba make you answer every day me I no go fit to suffer attire everybody can find this DJ can they bye Isele baba papa sumi kande only mata yeah everybody can find me sing kande oh na Isele baba papa sumi kande only mata
once again to mo beni nke keji oyegbaweni ami ni o feel ake documents ni nation no na kan no je na kan ni obanyo prove case ojugba ake dabi no ni court ewe ye na kan no mi ekole boni mi nkan yo le boni no le hihia je na kan like I said my channel is more than I mean BNA where you are no kwale wa mo friend mo gbe wa push mu ko agenda ye bi ko document say ba no ni ewo ni chon ake Panbros say na kan jeme enclave fen gba we bi no nie I will be more than glad to give you the platform. If you want to come and make the case here, I will. If you want to send me the documents evidence no your ni nke chon man bi to mo bono na ani fio nkba chon but not just from neke Panbros case but clearly what fe videos here be ni sempe ke the Danso we went to a larger extent English ala tampele shikon jiye koma ye jeme no once again court documents ani wona wali yake na kan Panbros jeme fe Danso we ku amame no ni English alata be jime ni ken Danso we ku English alata be a shikon ni clearly ni anybody we know eba muona ye na kan judgment any one a couple of months say a trower any we know about muona ye a trower any akama JB are not ba muona ye a trower any sempe be are not ba muona ye now na kan program anywhere for sempe be I may apply for a stay of execution ni I may appeal against na kan judgment ni eje high court if you make sure mene esani ache na kan sani nli ake anye ache alo ache but once again bolly no feel no ni ba jemi eba inkaba chombo so na can case no na ni eba fe a big issue ni sempe ke ba crash me yes of course sempe me they appealed against it and applied for a stay of execution ni I was telling my brother Saka me fe na kainoko because we need this thing all the way up to the Supreme Court koni is settled once and for all. You understand what I'm saying? So sempe me ame appealing against judgment nkwe shukwe bagbana enyaka me appealing because some of these fights and when you was settled ni waka pass on to the next generation. We cannot. You understand what I'm saying? Because as long as ni wa ya no ni waka wa no neke wa yin ya bawa wa no ya bawa wa shele mo bawa. You understand what I'm saying? So neke magiano mo ine yake wa ba na neke magiano me ne in this current dispensation koni wa big wa na bi ni baba wa gfa kansuomo akaba chemeni o wo ye some of these fights ameno amegbe na ameno na ameshishin ona boni nchon no wa ni wo ba ni won no lo na kan no esani esafo it's an where you know some of these issues say when you was settle fair you know be conclude baba that be amekano so to mo beni me for akolache judgment court mo we need neke jeme bene sajine we need fair Supreme Court need Supreme Court I deal with these land issues ne yo na can jeme once and for all. We seriously need it. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, clearly, the documents that I've cited, nye documented in Kebwake, Makande Mahabwe. Meaning another person, I got it from a different source. Meaning it was from a different source. Nehami the same document. In addition to certain documents, court documents come. Once again, ni Kebwake ni bawebi ete on shipon ye jemegbe ni court to eke bawebi akedabi. Panbros ni ami no shikoji na ma ho eje ami no yo. Now that aside, ole Koblanta Jibo ni Oyengleshi. Look, we are picking like there are certain individuals, then we are picking on them. Like that is not the case. You understand? Tafrache me come force na me ye wono. You can clearly tell based on their actions. Okay, Jenny, I'm enforcing na me ye wono because I'm a papa na I'm in town ni I'm a fe I'm a way dabi. Shimon I'm a ba ni I'm a ba fit boy. I na juo ni bi na claw ni bi na pata ni bi anye. And I'm telling you, look, call your English alata. Look, there is somebody parading himself as a chief. Ni na kai mo wanye respectfully wanye. You understand what I'm saying? No, where you will see this person behind some of the shady deals. Ni adumono na chono ni ake kolo nye ni biye. We need both leaders from neke akuche enyone fe ni ameba you anukwale because sani ye court no ni sani ye court and namu eje court to sani se ne te ne a shred deal. You understand what I'm saying? Ne te a shred deal ni no konike obo Mr. Boy to obo Mr. Boy to clearly as of last year September because Sani take court they wanna stop documenting in Ketchomwe it was in June or July of last year. So me neighbor chat on our watch on me neighbor ni all of a sudden no ni Chinese yone enai wale moko yesene a ishka nina kemo irrespective the court process. And here again we have the security forces, we have the Ghana Police Service, we have the National Security. Ni asana amewa ni Ghana bi aye mlano provide security for the Chinese. Meanwhile, this case is in court. But why do we have to blame the National Security and the Ghana Police Service? Ni clearly, wadienche wa here min yeli, wadienche wa yikon, wadienche anukwale ni wa ye wo eka boti on ekeni bi komami. O fine like him show ami. Min pabu fai jena. So bomane like him show share mo link WhatsApp nke ka fi call in share ni tete TV video no. Beni onya nyome komeka me na ni bi na ango na bon ka send ya me fin. Ka send ya me. Ona let me continue o jani fimo. You understand what I'm saying? And we need to start dealing with ourselves truthfully. We need to. Niole, especially ke oba wagamashine, there are few names coming. Ni body and check okwe ame bowa blopi ekoji gbawi alaji. Look, I don't know how that man has, but once again, look, gbawi alaji. There are a lot of issues. Ni Jamie. Gbawi alaji. A lot of issues ni Jamie. Apele bawe manche because they didn't check. Ewe bi manche. Bawe alaji. Nna chola alaji adama chole. Ni a lot of shikpon pele moene ni eya between English yala take bawene le lidio na kaino le chimo le lidio. Ni wachene edda. You would expect at some point, you know what? I've caused a lot of damage. Enough is enough. But clearly, these people, they don't really think about us. I'm a drain way. I'm a drain. I mean, how can you? Let just say, no wager pele manche. I mean, how? If your table just say, bono wobi manja, how? Bono jiwe kuicho, bono jino feno. It's everything. You cannot do anything without bawialaji. You cannot. Call by English shalata. Ole meni obache ni na keme no feno ni ya no English shalata ne yin obache amegbe. Kote proper machine, proper machine. There are people there no obache amegbe. Numo sakumo, numo akwa minsan. You know these people clearly. Cautiously, osu bi ene no owula ko ejemele un da na chegbe ake Manchester ne bosu na efe ele koshe la moko eje ni le koshe teshi meji gbe tele ncha ko oblanu fi o ko blanta ko eba le un sanje ni ya no teshi efe e bolele teshi oblanta fi o ko eba koshe nungwa nakan pepepe o she nungwa un nakan Gakpokpa no fi waye dis waye me na me futu woni ame tawo wono ya ame tawo wo sholemo. All they are in there is for benuna mbacho na me ba line up at my pockets. I'm a line up at my pockets. Ni eyamobo. You understand what I'm saying? Eyamobo. Now, Jena, anima try Nii Danso Yuemo Mahabo. Koni Ken Chatan again can document a chombo.
Panbros
Yeah. Emanye Nii Kojo Danso the second, Dansoman Mantse, divisional chief of Dansoman on that English Alata, Jamestown. One day you watch I guess you know ebu ofen wa ni mbechane ni chon ofen mi chon osranko iba kukumuko ofen wa wala mi shoshuye she nini in the controversy neke Panbros area ni wako ni maybe it's a web of lies and deceit ni efe neke Panbros mini neke yami very deep ni BP ni mele akashi me in comment ni maha yaji no fe no ke ibakpe on that Dansoman division ajuange mi Dansoman Mantse be mi afi be mi Dansoman Mantse mi yoje ga wa tele mi hey kume ni se baby kume aya ho kume na ake Ramsar site drainage can it be ke gba we bi ga wa tele mi jo Nii Danso bola na action ya jame can be ga wa tele mi jo Nii Danso ni inle le chabina ya benoni inle heko ona ni ke aya mi jo going back to mi jo history ni pertaining to this mi jo mini Panbros area ne agency ke mako salt concession ni Jamestown no mi ga Jamestown it comprised of English Alata apangaje ke simpe ni ake neke mako concession ne Ashamanfro ni Jamestown Jasiche then the Jamestown Jasiche ya represent English Alata ni sakumo wuro mo bami ageshi leun sakumo fa ni yo jame wo area le no e be balageshi neke concession ne mi jon court ni akete emi bagbala ni Jamestown no simpe no ya jame mi jon me ni deserve ajila femi akehami ni ameke ni ake ha neke Elmina Salt Company. She along the way unageshi beni ayo sadie naga mako concession mini G 1,500 acres ne ake ha Elmina Salt Company. She beni ayo sadie ni ajakwa ubami ni ibeba displace mene ashamanfu jajeke lejimanche ni yo ni ajesani wala asani represent English alata iwo ni agbesani na mako concession ne siwo simpe ke apangaje nke sakumo wulo ma me fa me access ejeme she another mini case ni ate between Nii Kojo Danso versus mene simpe manche ni ate ni ayayi ye apanga jemfita na apele that very same area si apanga je ame ba mi mla ni aji ame yemi ni later na ame ba ni we ba fi agesi be simpe ke English alata jimeni ame try na ganje ye ni ji memete ni ji lance afi stretcher kejo kolibuo after the kolila go an ka gbe sakumono ni ji memete lance choko yemi nomie Dansoma jogobi nomie Afiko Dansoma ni ji 1963 ni mene actually akula che judgment choko plaza gbefen ke kolibu ke link road je gbefen was mentioned ni ibalena ga agese ni apanga je hun ameke upete papo si ame ba me mla ewo ame they stood and watch major why is the major many was going on ewo ni judgment ni aba ana composite judgment ni ana ji 1963 akula ja eke mo fe mo ni ogbeme yo je na ame yifa be buji major beje bonomi si jogobi and the surrounding land self jogobi ni di Dansoman bia ne ke land ni bolile believe I get Jamestown B jimeni fire jame wo jefe is for Jamestown she akoko photo ji any at least simple be lease if ele vic akoko photo simple ni believe I get poase gbehu simple biano major that was the judgment ni akula che judgment along the way iwo ibalake be simple bi bebako Jamestown bebako na ganje gbefe no mi Jamestown na higbe ni ge Panbros fe lease 1967 ni ji Panbros lease ni no mi ajakwa yo no ajakwa abrogate that mention mini mene ashaman ni ike ani the brothers say well this time now the validity meter through I guess na 1,500 acres na get Panbros but sign another lease ni ji ajakwa ni ji ajakwa for 1,500 acres ni ikami sign 498 for 50 years it won na ashaman flow to Panbros lease there exist afomi shini Panbros ya ni register na me fraudulently I mean make a
nye boato clearly so Panbros na me yo je de nche Panbros you see but be a very critical for me that is why ni bono ne ba you be a trader na ni ma making point
Tamanfo to Panbros fitai I'm 498 ni I'm feel again 2 different leases 498 no I evidence of major lease ni yeah, she naga 1,500 acres and I mean blue me chon I mean blue le ni me chon I mean get woman ni I mean feel mene Ajakwa to Panbros 498 2 different day Ajakwa to Panbros 1,500 acres in here evidence. Ona, she am be evidence go cry with that Ajakwa to Panbros 1,500 acres.
So Panbros lenche amlencha amen ju English yalata. Amlencha amen ju ame. Panbros amlencha amen ju. And this was made possible by Moko from English Yalata. Conniving with Bawi family. Not do English Yalata. Meanwhile, this person claims I can represent English Yalata interest. So for all these years, a Panbros then I mean tuning I mean yeah English Yalata shikono ni I mean bell list for it. But Moko line a pocket secretly all this while. And this person is supposed to be fighting for the interest of English Yalata. So on anoni la say oba fe show e bie nke ko ye English Yalata. No nye manche ku say dwemo hie nyo. Dwemo hie nyo. Dwemo hie nyo. And neither so it made a point ni somehow close to what I did in yesterday's video in terms of looking ahead ni oba planning ni obio yake and the managing no oba nye wo fe ni no Lisa Egbo 2016 Lisa Egbo 2016 I saw back in na wolu e there Lisa Egbo 2016 from Lands Commission. So the lease between English Yalata and Panbros say Egbo 2016. How many years? 9 years ago. Shimogo Yeshka. Ni apele na no. And you have people English Yalata, you know. Ni American. Let's go on.
Wana menaka ba mo along the way me John in the 2016 begani bi ni amelage English manche it pass you mini along the way ameke list controba ni amentana me gwa cover naga 1,500 acres na me ju amefita ye ewo ameke amelis boku si 2011 nyete Jamestown manche ngo ni renew ni lease ni lease boku na I get 1,500 acres ni get already a 99 years ni boku if you think bako nye ya di mincho nye ke yani akefita ni 498 yani na ni 2000 she Lance Lance like mincho that is a fraudulent document along the way from 2016 ni Panbros lease egbo of lenche amegbe Lance ni here evidence Lance lenche admit against amelise egbo ni amenye renew na me yo jene beni ebala against I assume ame bawe assume ame nege Panbros ne ete support nege Prince Ajaku Brusco ne koni eba ke Prince sponsor le koni eba authenticate lease ne egbo ne if ni shiko keji afi na ga lease bo Panbros lenche ngele take court mini na asale epe Jamestown fe epe for so many years ona ni ke ote ko me Jamestown bi nye na bi na abenu chumo Jamestown kwa ni Jamestown Palace kwa kwa ni Jamestown Palace do pay ni kwa mo occupy mention the whole lot of Jamestown wealth ni Panbros sort ni ame ohian yami anye poni eba na get you get one bag every one bag in get one city in Jamestown yami me employ Jamestown youth neke Jimmy board members alpha mene ake nege Jamestown two.
Ona nyano ni ntabi ni iwe nke baga iwe no ko similar bona. You see, look, I don't personally know him. He may not be perfect. Nobody is. He may have his flaws, just like all of us. Meaning, but tabi ekuleko oken wife iwe say eba chombo ni bi ni fi offend him. Nobody is perfect. But I have not seen so far. I have not seen anybody fighting for the interest of English Yalata. Tomo Nii Danso. Maybe there are other people now me feel. Ni ekole because na can story say if a mainstream ni ekole mabolo ya ni ini ne ba share documents no ke evidence ko me only. Once again, he may be doing it for his own parochial interest. I don't know. But if you ask me, sitting any entire, ake namo nina, ake clearly, eke will fight Jim Femi, ne sue me, because nake mene moko English yo jugba ebie, if I take the fight on, moko English feneke, if I take the fight on, once again, he may not be doing it just because he feel like maybe, I don't know. And that is why I have an issue with people in there trying to fight against him. People from English Yalatano. I have an issue with it. Look, sometimes we have to be smart. We have to pick and choose our battles. No kele yesanie. Ofi gbose na kele baka. Onyo ke miake osumo English Yalata. Ke Nii Danso ke sempe ya court. Ni bongo okoye ya womi. Jeni okoye ya womi. Ni ekole o taoni o pushi. Shimo bongo bla no conclo. I mean, I do not understand it. And I'll address that later. And this is going to is going to Nilafa, and I'll address that later. But come on, make it. There is nothing in your wolomi about nicho for every single bag of salt now English Alata stool about 1 city. Nothing. There's actually nothing on paper. No 10% of Panbros workforce should be oblantai from English Alata. Nothing, absolutely nothing on paper, nothing. 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 But I'm telling you, I know and this person claims a work in the interest of English Yalata, and that is not right. That cannot be right. Ni I court ne Stool Council file na ma join ni let Nii Danso lewu eke he awosane ani. This so-called person there onale ya eko na eke fight of English Yalata onale ya eko because guess what? Ayo sky Panbros bi ade. Ayo shika mi bi ni bi kome. So ne won che egbe na twi. You understand? No need now is not convincing enough, Dabi. I promise me, I can wojinye. Ken in the shenon chombo ni ma check be. Wolu elencha ba check be ni ma tabi ni ma check. Because in na can wojinye no one way. But this person claims ayo shika Panbros. No lawsuit in na fi no nani Stool Council ka me nye benke Stool Council wolu e chombo. Na ma file na ma ame join nke chombo. Nii Danso no ba chombo. Ona le yemi. Ni enyenye ke ya womi because e sure senge de ayo shika ye Panbros bi ade.
Ni presenter and 2 people ni are board them can be go any I feel proper agreement. Ete backdoor I use me John Prince Ashaku Brusque ni Ikeba ni Akwafi Juani. It won't call me get the court. le Prince Ashaku Brusku FNK Panbros for fraud. Ni keji ame small I'm ba challenge bi again charm jule for defamation. Ni ma proof pepe uma. Make a chebo julo no ujewani ma proof pepe ma. Una na chi lenche ka agabi admo boss me owana ma wi pepe. Then again na chi ya mo ni le wi mo. Kemi admo boss me no okwa ma wi pepe. Ego mini keji ibale na ka le Panbros biane bawe ete ya sule bawe le ni Panbros li se gbono le eye judgment oni ake ike Amadu Wangara ko Jamestown no ameka ame fi na ka Amadu Wangara kwate family ke ya siu na ka papa few owu ke Amadu Wangara ni is about mini Heina Adwate. Ni two families are mempele. There is no declaration of title whatsoever. No declaration of title. Reliefs ni reliefs na ABF. There is none. I guess I had declared title. The Jamestown Bemi is only about small piece of land. Ni quarry stone na mempele here. Na ewo keji naganoko Amadu Wangara ne a reflector I registered 1963. She amafe in the 2011 somewhere 2012 J 1963 okay okwema pemi wajange they have occupied the place from 1963. She I said I would jam age minchon age actual date ne age register Amadu Wangara lance wo jam ni agbene gbawele nche Jamestown ka mete court minchon tira court minchon versus Nii Kojo abebu ni a win am na restrict am na mete amafa skalenche ni minchon fine na ha me na amenye ne minchon amepe ni misa few interpreter na restrain am to the valley na me cross Winneba road if you tell cross around Bawebi Nyegaba Dansoman with false Amadu Wangara judgment they call Jamestown Eko they call Nii Danso Eko una she I get plot almost about 7,000 acres you mini ni sponi ni Baweju iwo beni Bawe na ke Panbros lease egbo iwo le e ahun Jamestown spon your Panbros part e Chinese you ni like Panbros near defendi ajage he is very much Bawe is very much aware agashi le Panbros mini Elise egbo iwo asani ma join ni Jamestown soon no join na get different image on like Jamestown spawn from Bawe simboko ni tax dey ke le Jamestown Mantse ehio ebie no mi ke Bawe chu ni ji Prince Ashaku Brusku ilu ogboji nke Bawe na asa hale agbere ehio shika hu Panbros di iwo eka una he is in limbo ni ele ene ya iwo una get ni suit ba ke bu ke Jamestown Mantse jibu anu kwale o protect o land eji enye shika eteshimo ya male ya police station ni ya wo langard ke ba na aba attack me minchon ya Dansoman e get Dansoman shimo fele no ni ete ya 45 le report ami this you am e gana ga langard de ke Panbros make mini na ga ni afi ku na aba attack minchon ya Dansoman ni pendi ona ewo ni ya no onyo o trust mugomugo Jamestown bi leje no na ame musungba mi na yo ame leje hun leje ahe ama aye gbeye lo cowards na ame musungba ame na bi ame ekumi ya Jamestown pe no ba na ma get their jeering people fabia bi ni yo mi efe homo ke musun ke ni bi se hingble ba me yin ewo nini iwo anukwale ni I will persist ma keep on nima nini ji mincho anukwale I will stand firm to fight mincho for the truth Jesus Christ Jimmy she mu nini ageba mincho age success mincho is judged mincho posthumously ke ogbolenche mejo acho ugbe ipapa ke nibi no fe is mejo efita o success mejo posthumously ejage ye Ghana acho adodi aka bi anansi bebrebe ke ni bi chuchu na ga me ijo nwa mbene ke una ga anansi bebrebe bi ne no o selegbe mejo asmiele mejo with death siga ke Kwame Nkrumah bi na okwani bi ni Kwame Nkrumah egbofe ete fe lenche mejo his flag is still flying high ewo mafe ni na asani mafe ni mejo moko nye editel ni moko nye o intimidate me yale all the way chat no manyaba.
Once again, there is another part of the audio. I think before I need a document say about Chongwe. Anima, it's only 4 minutes long. Shout outs to you, Shatta Drake. Shout outs to you, Uncle Charles, your high Oniami. O fine, Keji o like ko show. Bomo de ami gonti. Miami wadenche. Love emoji say God nyeko no nyeno. Look, these are the people you like. I said, look, mo femo your flaws. Me ken na no fe papa ama yui. Ken na no fe efon ma yui. You understand what I'm saying? So far, nke money inna ni buene ke nuchu money femo ni inna akashi genuinely a fight for the interest of English charlatan. Maybe, like I said, you're not gonna that I don't know. She ke obimi. If there is one individual ni na lele a fight for the interest of English charlatan stule, it is Nii Danso. It is him. Like I said, Olele Femi. Yes, I don't know him. So you know his flaws more than I do. And he has flaws because he is human. He's been in this game for a long time. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm sure like he knows how to play the game. But like I said, from where I'm sitting, God be name one individual. A fighting for English charlatan. I'll say it's him. There are people behind the scenes. They call me ni amekeba agbona ni wabana. You understand what I'm saying? So shout outs to Nii Danso. Now, onuni ejwe ni bi ekomeye, especially the parts ni nye ni engona. You understand? Neke dwemoji no ni one leader or ni one leaders adwen. Neke dwemo. Ji no ni one need you, ni one femini, ni one leaders adwen. You understand? Mido asani nekenoko ye English charlatan shpono tumobene you ni the youth of English charlatan nyejeme ni amebe nuchumu. Assign contract keke. Na woshika amoko neka we kotokumi keke. It didn't start from today. You understand what I'm saying? They assign contracts thing. Like Oshini bono okawa you know about Utah be a shipon eko ya Utah me shipon ni ameke US government test sign alo atanunu. I don't know if one of you nika wa you na kani ni acha oil ya me shipon no ni aye shika afen na afio no ko like so every kid now about for is something like a kashi oil acha before now making US government na child. I don't know, one of you actually I don't know. Maybe you college. I don't know. The three of you and you take me make me baneke. You tabi asani nkebata bia ne you know be na ba for fe as long as ni acha oil ye shipon no amenashika there is this particular family Jonah you know back on now 18 you already have like $1 million in your account already what yo that the family ye Utah Niana oil ya meshikono. Amanya make a whole US government assign like a contract. Ni till thy kingdom come. Katabi amini jele mi bafite. There is no single person ne ba jena kan family mi ni ebaboto yami agbena. Moko yo yen na kan family mi no. Why can we not do the same with the white goat? Ne ye washikono. Adwe was a bi asani. Aeshika fa kan go kotokumi na aje. Aje. Ah, no need like a family affair Utah. English alata nye fe na kan. Amenya me fe na kan. Ni ngo shika esa ni moko na ba fole ye English alata na ba yo hia. Ngo shika about as long as ngo eje ni mpage ho. Ngo ye ni mpage ho. As long as na ba chango eje me moko kula be na ba fole. Ye English alata na ba yo hia. Ne ya school if for nothing at all ne ya university. Ke ta ne ya. Ne na shika ne ba kase ni na anuchumo ni kaji no eta wo na efi. There is no way. There is nobody from English Alata even on the boards of Panbros. He said it. Moko beno moko Panbros board moko beno. Ni po eba ya. Ni cafe quarterly meeting there. Ni eba seek out the interest of many me ashikon here. None. Something is wrong with us as a people. Something. There is something fundamentally wrong with us as a people. Something is wrong. And you have people. I mean, I may about defending the kitchen man. Tell you one US and I may about defending. Because I have you ole bull any kefi am few na amena about 1 billion Ghana cedi. Actually, in the figure ko you go 11 billion Ghana cedi. I got about 2,000 cedis, 5,000 cedis. I got babe o bolo. They are 11 billion. They have about 5,000. When I go back correct, 11 billion, 5,000, you know, ni sabo. Eh? When I go lu. Eh? When I go lu. Eh? Bunke you. When I go lu. Like Moshoe, I'm gonti. Once again, when my name in Europe, okay, let me see if I can play this. Like I said, in getting 4 minutes. Let me see if I can play that. Couldn't get documents action because in getting me ebano one move on. Bona, let's see.
Yeah, Emanye, ni meke name. Min binye manye ni min banyo manje. Mi Nii Kojo Danso the second. Dansoman Mantse, and divisional chief of Jamestown English Alata. Me you okay. Get one the caption Panbros land saga. Lands Commission confirms land belongs to Tanwe, not Panbros. Of course, it's true. But G Namoke ha Tanwe Bawibi Jimeni make hale. Ni Bawibi mbe amenaye Bawibi Ju ameju. Land there, Mimi challenge me. Again, they use fraudulent means to acquire that land. Ni ameke Jamestown Yaku Court. Ni ameke Jamestown subjects Yaku Court. Ni Jamestown subjects ye lands ye Germany Jamestown hand. Ni Jamestown TR Court versus Nii Kojo Abebio. I restrict me to the valley near me crossing Winneba Road. Iwana ame Amadu Wangara ni Papa Few versus Amadu and Amadu Wangara judgment 1963 ni Amekeba Ju Jamestown Shiponji Kesimpe Shiponji mini is fraudulent. Dane anyame se ake ataw judgment plan side plan. I bet judgment side plan. Yenaga Amadu Wangara case is between them only a small portion of land which was litigated between their family and Amadu Wangara, and there is no mention declaration of title whatsoever. I mean, before atonement, But where they lost that, Bakwate family lost that case too. Ni mutual judgment, ni judge by handwriting, a confirm. Fine, I mean,
Male judgment by handwriting, no, no, you are not a judge. So anytime me will be about try, I'm about move beyond any ameshipon na be or yeah. Kaka me take all time a loser. Anytime. Na me I'm about move beyond any ameshipon na be or yeah. Alone na be yo. Kaka me take all te I'm a loser. Naga handwriting no be.
Can it be? Well, there is no declaration of title. In coming smart, I'm judgment side plan because I bet judgment side plan. If you take plot or land without judgment side plan. Ona. Well, here cases ni legbawe. Ni judges confirm prominent judges, respectable judges ni ameha judgment ni bawe ke subjects in your court. Ni at a court, ni court confirm against that Amadu Wangara judgments babao di bawe look back and be a call James Town. He will take your take bawe. Beba call Benny me in Gasempe be at a court, ni winner, but we be a care. Gamea ku court, na me flyers, babao kepa, if a against Danso, Gamea ku court, alo no goni. Kwewa wini simpe bi gani bi ane ba fetan. Chame na gama du wangara na ma plotte. Ana me get Danso te court. Alo me get James te court. Dana ame afina ka me fraudulent deal. Ewa ne tash ne jwaji. Kra nye na abana me ke bawi. Mi Nii Kojo Danso. Mi shinchichi. Ageshi wo abana mi cho inagbe. Ke bawi wini mi iba ko Dansoman fe. Cha no manyaba.
Right. So, like I said, can I name call Europe or Jana intro video self. I think a document say come at chombo. Koni ona once again. Carry back with me. If you want to put it out there, ni gam. I take it ni back with form of you puana. Koni come and defend you. Put the documents out there. Put it out there. My platform is always available for you. Any working kaseni nekeno kone one test afo. Now, need so you any BP. Like I said, BT when you mean in your Europe war. My name is like 7. She amele boli. At 1 yeah, I'm pretty sure. Kese inke first one kwa chombo. On no you money you are benye no piomo. Now, first of all, this is the list between let's see. This is the list between Nii Kojo Abebio be obabula ake konu Nii Kojo Abebio pe bo na ake mini English alata, right? Ke Panbros ye ishiba mi wanye me ni yogbawe ani nye echo ani nye ke Panbros e sign lease ko down ye ishiba mi clearly nye ka me sign ko lease ko down ni Panbros ni amebon nu chumo ke the 60 say na afi na kano na ba Marco Sort concession ameno Elmina Sort ko ameno ni Elmina Sort company ameno they metamorphose into Panbros. You know this, I believe it's the same company. Aye sanjin ye na kan Marco Sort concession aye sanjin fe ye bawe fe ayu ake na kan jeme English ala tabi ashikoni ayo. This is the list between Nii Kojo Abebio versus versus Imbai. Between Nii Kojo Abebio ke Panbros. Nado. And in the Panbros is signed document go down. They've been operating since the 60s. Early 60s. Like I said, a lot of the court cases nin kandi in na kanje megbe ni many me kwa weche waka chonye. Na kanje megbe cases at least what to 2 different cases ye na kanje megbe. Ni bakai wo fe biamini ni gbese e sha glefe mancheke wo gbese traditional council right benye bakai wo fe na kanje megbe shikonjie meni noni wo neke documents pi ne nka chombo meni me ono na kanje me popa mi fe nka chombo meni me no elo neke cases ne konka jeko dani meji gbete ne no ni Danso ke sempe mete court le nka chombo. So what fe 2 different cases ni clearly e show aka na kanje me fe English yala tano aya eni akama aje no ena bagbe oye aya eni sempe ma no ena bagbe oye chikoje chimoni yo je me English yala tano. Bawe, as some of the judgments I mentioned, achon judgment say achon any nyonye no ena bagbe oye ena ba muona ye. So clearly, I mean, we've cited court documents. Ne sure clearly ake na kan Panbros enclave fe English alatano. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, look, it will actually be in your favor if you have some of these documents. English alatabiye, yo, bring it out. I will give you my platform. You don't have to give it to me. Put it out there. Ken in the shanon go achon mambiye. Once again, in Kabwake, Bawebia ehon shikonjin kome. Ameho. Any ameno na muoye na ameho shikonjin kome. Outside of any ameno na kete court na ye na kake dabi enye ba ebenye no mi. Let me show you another document. Now, this is another case. Ni aye. Ni wanyeme New York bawe. Once again, I'm on shiko anytime now I'm ho any ameno muona ye clearly. Any Panbros jeme ena menye ameno ameho ena ameno muona ye ameho jeme fe ayo ame ekomeko ni onuni ni na so you ake written judge kelele nche gani ngma written pen I can always send me. You understand? So to we have a few people in our midst. Look, I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. See, na Judge clearly kakashi. Once again, I'm a better title to nakan shikonji any yo jeme. Now, ani ma fe bi ani nkechon kono na sande na yo. Come on, judgment, come on. Okay, the case commenced with the issuance of a writ of summons and statement of claim in which the plaintiff sought the following reliefs: a declaration of title to all that piece or parcel of land situate and being at Bawe Southwest in the Accra Metropolitan Assembly in the Greater Accra region of the Republic of Ghana, bounded on the north by Bawe Kwate family land, measuring on that side 210 feet more or less, on the east by Bawe Kwate family land, measuring on that side 165 feet more or less, on the south by Bawe Kwate land, measuring 215 feet more or less, on the west by a road measuring on that side 150 feet more or less, and containing an approximate area of 0.6768 acres. The same is more particularly delineated on the plan attached hereto and thereon shown edged pink. Once again, title of land. I mean, because I'm a meka clearly title of land. Kama menoni esananya na title of land ni chwanke Bawe Kwate family bi ano. This was what this whole case about. J case now about treaty. So much I mean town no now. And why noni judge come on. It is the case of the plaintiff that by a list dated 10th October 2014 made between Nii Adam Kwate Quality head and lawful representative of the Bawe Kwate family, who having obtained the necessary or requisite consent and and concurrence of the principal members of the said family granted a lease of the said land to the plaintiff for valuable consideration for a period of 50 years. So shikoni ame niadam kwate bawe alaji le ekeneke shikone ha abi title ye komononiba. So this is what it is about. Like I said, I'm not going to read everything. More ke take code komononi jajeke. I'm going to go all the way down. Nima kandi nakai jeme mahabo. Inke anytime na me ba ho ena me no mo na ye na me ba ho this is not the first I me fair anytime ka ke take kote ayu ehia forget about the authorities any me tell them you go no na no nko boy won sheje me. Come on. It would seem to me that any aflo near shishiye. Any aflo near shishiye. Come on. Shout outs to you, ma awa. Come on, any aflo, ona. Any aflo near shishiye. I'm a candidate, my mabudu. Come on. It would seem to me that the plaintiff was bamboozled by his grantors. The plaintiff was bamboozled by his grantors. Not meji grantors, allow by the grantors. But we quite a family, they are the grantors, which claims of various judgments in their favor into believing that they could let him have the land. Noni ba we quite be any more ketene title. Noni me fe jeje ke le lenche ke ekwani ame na ke they bamboozled him. Bamboozled there you find nyeka bagam ye hani. They bamboozled him into believing I'm a quite a family. They have a lot of judgments. Now, even if the land had belonged to them, which in my view, it did not. It was from the Gbawe stool to have given vacant possession to the plaintiff and not to have granted land already in the possession and occupation of another. Be very, very important. You understand what I'm saying? So, even if the land had belonged to them, which in my view, it did not. So the land it belonged to him in the first place. It belonged to. Look, we can go into this case maybe some other time. Story or two, but I want you to see. Okay, tomoboni Nii Danso we actually me na me know about what. Nidane I may go beyond any mlaeka magenye no ewabi. They always go beyond it. Any time about challenge I may a court I may lose. In the discussion on the law and the evidence in the preceding paragraphs on the other issues, it is quite evident that the title of the defendant's grantor and his right to make a valid grant have been discussed. The land in dispute is clearly Dansoman land, and same is traceable to the Jamestown stool. The land used to be part. The land used to be part of the Panbros company lands. Ngemi ekena go enwe kena go entabi use me, and I will not allow anybody to use me. Send me the documentary evidence. The land, come on, in discussing on the law and the evidence in the preceding paragraphs on the other issues, it is quite evident that the title of the defendant's grantor, Mona, it is quite evident that the title of the defendant's grantor and his right to make a valid grant have been discussed. The land in dispute is clearly Dansoman land. And same is traceable to the Jamestown stool. The land, the land used to be part of the Panbros company lands. The defendant had been in undisturbed possession until the challenge by the plaintiff, which challenge I hold is unwarranted. You understand? Body shishi. So clearly, once again, this is something that has got to do with Panbros shikonji no. Panbros shikonji no. Ni clearly, jeje yue biake na kan shikonji na kan jeme fe Dansoman bia shikoni and to the larger extent English Jamestown too London. Panbros, the same Panbros and appelé jeje these used to be part of the Panbros company lands. Dansoman bia no Jamestown alata no. Now, I think anyone trouble. Now, so Nii Danso lele to many you are joining the case in and I can know once again as a Dansoman Mantse and I can spawn a follow within any be a shiponji yo no ninke chombo ni ona name. Jenna eneke Saturday ni ngwe shkwe mana de kanu ba yam yo jogba. A lot of things to talk about when it comes to this particular but I hope I can if it cuts on here. DBP ba so about treat lo jogba. Now show on this as just the surface. Brother, as just the surface. What about treat lo jogba. Now, so tumoboni in Kebu enano. No. Onake nano. Tangwe ebenyele legit Chinese nyewe. Ke ni Adam Kwate amega Panbros salt industries because ni Adam Kwate tangwe le once again Panbros shipon clearly there are documents to show ake Dansoman bia shiponi and it belongs to English alata. No one English alata stool I'm file it now me join the lawsuit so you have the English alata stool fighting to join the lawsuit and the JJ grant me agbenele nwe Nii Dansoman Mantse ni name fe follow within a jurisdiction le file upon reading the affidavit of Nii Kojo Danso of house number 1 Nii Danso Street Dansoman Mantse Palace Old Dansoman Accra in the Greater Accra region of the Republic of Ghana, the deponent and applicant herein filed on 30th July 2025 in support of motion on notice for joinder, and upon reading the affidavit of Edmond Kwanzaa of number C34 Pineapple Street, American Houses, Legon, Accra, the deponent and law clerk of Beacon Law Council solicited for the second plaintiff's hearing filed on 4th August 2025 in opposition to the applicant for joinder, and upon hearing the submissions of Christian Akwesi Buame, counsel for and on behalf of the applicant hearing, and Alfred Enyan, counsel for and on behalf of the first plaintiff/respondent, it is hereby ordered that Nii Kojo Danso II be joined to the instant suit to the second defendant for all issues in controversy to be effectively dealt with. Applicant to procure order and serve the parties within 7 days, given under my hand and seal of the High Court of Justice, Land Division, Accra. So once again, Tomoboni JJ, a grantee, the stool council, the privileges to join Nakano judge a grantee Nii Danso to join. And of course, you heard Nii Danso say, okay, if I fight it by way, clearly. And I hope, like I said, this is needed. We need to solve some of these issues. Biane, Bonia Feni, be conclome. Akaba, ni ameba femini, ni ameba boy, the same thing. Femu. You understand what I'm saying? I think that is it. Yeah, let me leave this here. I don't know if I should. This is the 1989 document. Any Mintaoni in Chomboe, but once again, okay, Bobby, let me read it for you. 10th August 1989. Angmakia, the executive chairman, Giok, head office, Giok, Menyele Giok. Attention, general manager, Giok Brick and Tile Factory, Malam. Bona, once again, dear sir, Ari, Bawi Clayfield concession. I'm solicitor for the Jamestown stool and write on their instructions and on their behalf. Dark. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Here we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. So, so let's go on. Your grantor described himself as Bawe Mantse. Bawe Mantse. Jaseche of the Guang Gang Mashistu and head of Pakpa Chewi House. It may interest you to know that the above named entity, or Bawe Mantse for short, had previously contested the title of the Jamestown stool to Marco. Marco sought concession. No, from as far back Marco sought concession. No, the same enclave no, Panbros, the same enclave no. Now, or Bawe land in 1876, 1910, 1916, 1918, and 1951, and lost repeatedly and consecutively. So anytime Nick Bawe they try challenging again, they continue to lose. 1876, 1910, 1916, 1918, and 1951. Specifically, in the Wager or Accra Water Works acquisition case of 1876, your grantors, the Bawe people, contested my clients and lost. Now, in the 1920s too, the Bawe people once again challenged the title of my clan to Oblogo and its famous ferry and lost once again. In that suit, namely Jamestown Mantse, Kojo Abebio the fourth versus T.R. Quarty and another. Nii Danso make reference to. My clans put the generality of their lands in the Marco or Makadi Hill area in issue, and so did the Bawe people. My clan successfully proved their title to the land claimed in their writ of summons. In that case, as follows: all that piece of land called Marco, situate near the Humo or Danso River and bounded by the Kukrudu, 2. The stream Tete, Gugu, Mankatagon, the river Sakumo, and the stream Amli Mlang. If I go Shimba, I check and chelo duba. Amli Mlam. The river Sakumo, referred to above, flows past the east of your brick and tile factory at Malam. Needless to add, my clans were adjudged to be the owners of the greater part of Marco or Makari Hill, as well as the area of land to the west, northeast, and south of the hill. May I remind you that to the south and east of the hill, that is Makari Hill, are the Sakumo Plains, where the Jamestown stool and the Sakumo Wulomo of Asare share a common boundary, not with the Bawe Mantse. Now, thus, when in the 1949 Leper Settlement acquisition case, your grantors also laid claim for compensation for that acquisition, the Jamestown stool successfully raised a plea of estoppel against the Bawe Mantse before both the Jackson J conventionally referred to this judgment dated 5/2/51, as well as in the West African Court of Appeal judgment dated 23rd March 1953. This suit has long ago determined title in the land covered by your so-called concession in my clans, and I do not think that there is really more to be said. However, the land in issue in the Leper Settlement case was land with which your so-called concession virtually shares a boundary. In that case, my clans got both the judgment and the resultant compensation payable, specifically for the land which is the western portion of your so-called concession, where the grantees of the Jamestown stool are believed are developing to your alleged annoyance is land between Makati Hill and the Sakumo Plains, where the Bawe Mantse, your grantors, has no land to give you or any other. In the Mantse Abebio the 4th versus T.R. Quarty, and another case, 13th September 1916, Bawe village and their land was completely circumscribed. A studious look at the map of the area and its topography, therefore, will show you clearly that you have been taken for a ride. Thus, if you consider the Bawe Mantse, Nii Quarty reported to grant you 1 square mile place of land where you are, you would find that he purported to give you in the document dated 7th August 1951, stamped as number 2618/51 and registered as number 1131/1951, as not only taking part of my client's land, the riverbed of the Sakuma River, vested in the Sakuma River, but the land of the Sempe stool as well. So I make a Sempe no minfe ke Sakuma no minfe. As already indicated, my clients got judgment for the leper settlement and the lands adjoining it on 5/2/51. Your grantors filed an appeal against it on 2/4/51. It was dismissed on 23rd March 1953. You will find, therefore, that even that 7 whole months after my clients were adjudged to be the owners of the lands at the southeastern foot of Makati Hill, and your grantors' appeal against it was pending, your grantors surreptitiously purported to steal a match on my clients and others by granting you on 7/8/51 that land, Clayfield concession, which is clearly not theirs. The well-known maxim is that one cannot give what does not belong to him. Nemo that could not have it. Latin. Your predecessors in title went and obtained a certificate of validity to try and validate the defective grant by the Gbawe Manche. I do not think that helps you. You may do well to read the limitations, modifications, and conditions imposed by the court when granting the said certificate of validity. As you can also see from the certificate of validity, the Jamestown challenged the lease to you when they learned of it, hence the limitations, modifications, and conditions. I'm sure that after you have researched the matter further and in due course, you would come to recognize the true and sterling title of my clients and come to atone tenancy to them. In conclusion, may I mention that there are not a few registered documents of title with the Lands Department showing that the Jamestown stool has given rights of entry as well as former grants of land falling within your so-called concession to them of its subjects. A. Nii Kojo II, Jamestown Mantse. To Charles Aku Danso, representing F.O. Ashon, S.O. Oku, and Emmanuel Kwashi Danso. Once again, in a quote neke nokone biamini wafe the last case. Document dated 30th January 1951 between C.A. Danso and others to E.K. Danso and Ato Ahuma number AC 1252/ once again. Document dated 9th March 1964 between E.K. Danso and Emmanuel Adaikoli. D. Document dated 6 December 1956 between Nii Kojo Danso II, Jamestown Mantse to Samuel Otokuno Oku. Deed of gift between S.C. Oku and J.A. Oku. You see that there. When you look at official search conducted by Nii Dansoman Mantse and caretaker of Jamestown's two lands in the disputed area filed in 1980, number of this subject of the Jamestown stool sits squarely. You will find that the land of the subject, you will find that the land of this subject of the Jamestown stool sits squarely in your so-called concession. When you take a critical look at the accompanying site plan, you will find that the Dansoman estate acquisition site plan shares a boundary with my client's land but cuts across your eastern corner, as if your boundary is of no importance. Could it be that even government does not recognize your so-called concession, and that is why even the Dansoman estate acquisition overlaps it? In the circumstances, you'll be well advised to come to terms with my clients, the Jamestown stool, so as to be able to keep your factory where it is. Onaga Sisi, Jamestown Mantse, grantees of Jamestown stool lands at Oblogo Akowe, and the general manager, Georg Brick and Tal, Malam. Once again, so this is another document. Like I said, a lot of the court cases are there. You understand? But actually, 8 here, Euro be if you I mean what 2 I actually so nyani nkenye me abano koni what you briefly in ake ILHS send me no but I don't think I get money and get chombo biane. So nyani wakama bani. Like I said, consider this as just the beginning of this issue. Wabaya no. Ni abo nkote ya ne. Waba fe show eko Saturday. Koni mana de kama kane ne me fe. Nyali ake mi kane mo eto mi. Mi bluffo in favorite subject ni. So wabachu na kan no ni. So nyega ya nyetwi gura. Well, I'm very busy because I'm a temo. So, like I said, look, in the document say a chombo Nii Kojo Danso it can Panbros be a sign. Of course, some of these cases ni onani I mentioned fair. He mentioned ekome be ni ikande a chombo down. You understand what I'm saying? So once again, before ni maya ni ayi okufubuo ani inke numu ayu dan dani machano inye me fe busy, so they are not going to come in. Look, Numo, respectfully the second time ni inna neke no kone ni, in fact somebody like me anima question whether you are really doing something for the interest of English alata, or you are fighting for your own interest. You understand what I'm saying? Okale cheke eyebie nyama cho okale che. No in cho no shishi. Inche respectfully you need to reconsider the way ni otra neke game ne. Look, if you have a problem with the school council, that's fine. You should have a problem with them. If you have a ni nyefenye ganye bia ni nchola nyenye nuwe. If you have a problem with the school council, that's fine. If you have a problem with Nii Danso, that's fine. But you are doing this the wrong way. If you are fighting for the interest of English here, English here na don't go challenging me come authority. These people are fighting for English. Let them finish with the fight. Ni ame nano ni ame bana English alata, and you no challenge ame, then you challenge them. But when you do something like offend be come to monege or weaken ame case, and it is not right. Once again, school council are joining neke tanwe case ne. Naka bongo file no ko. Come on, man. Don't do that. No ni nkek machine enwe. Judgment ni ana against the same pair. Let one file for a stay of execution. I mean, Bongleshi you no Gangleshi be no ntra. Oshi sempe mo no Gangleshi be ntra. Why would you file for a stay of execution? Ni asiki no ko Yangleshi be ami. Why would you do that? You understand what I'm saying? So look, you need to stop this. Respectfully, you need to stop. If you have a problem with English, be able and like a nagano. Shia be a you wear shia. Nimogeba attack you war. Come walk away and be polling to go from Afro come in work more atra. But what fail of Afro come you work more atra. Why would you buy against Nii Danso near secure judgment? Can't the whole of English alata. Or be it ake Danso we ku eje ma me sponi. Why? I mean, I don't get it. Ngani e chombo. Na ken case no onani wo fe. War abacha na ken case. Why? I'm still trying to. Are you doing this for your personal interest? Alone no English. Because go no English here, I don't see the no one else no if indeed you are fighting for English, because that is the same thing in Dansoman Mantse. So why are you taking Danso on? For what? Why are you taking him on? Why? I'm why are you taking him on? At least many can sempe me agbena. Nebu any e kaba English e ka agbene kokele yesani e kokele ye na kensani e. She ke sempe me ntwani, you are also taking him on. I inu shishi. Ni okufubo inu shishi. Neke move the last time in ba yue. Ni nake press conference ni o release statement ko in ba tabi ni ba yue yake ni dabi afe na kan. Unbeknownst to me, fight again. You are fighting against the same person. Retrieve me again English here. No, it makes sense. You may be in your right. No, domo. She may need to swear. Sempe ma trata. Ne she ko anye. Ke he anya ta. No kele ba she mo ka men twa ni bo wo kele ntwa. English ala ta mi be no. Tell me how this makes sense. How? Any making sense. I don't know how. No, but spinning it. Never making sense. Hey, I mean, you know I respect you. Only I can but this is not right. It making sense. It making sense. Any GMO yemi. Call your lawyers. Pull it off the courts. GMO client me. Call GNA yemi, and I'm like I said. Then my question whether you really mean good for English alata. Are you fighting for your personal interest or you are fighting for English alata? Ogaleche, what the
You need it. Oh, you are done. Cook and have Benny Oha one Benadane. Ofem when you go. Mimba ofem or do manye, mancheme, manye, watch me. Why will you come with him? Nyeme on your no way. Manya bofem. Need it. Ni who confuse you. None of your jacket. Mofem when you English. When you make a fame. Many your English. Because of money, common interest of money. Ika. Noni ya no fe na shika sani. Tasani. Ke bini bema designer ba ke o a English a translation amali. Mi ka ba ka me mali. Eja ke mini. English ke simple ya kote. Ke English ke simple ya kote. Ni te ke simple chose ni hamu ka. No, the other person I support. Yes, simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have distraction. Can English go English in a distraction. No, meaning I be feel to one I woman say be a wolu. Na be an abanya me lu ame. The woman say be on no lu. E ja ke ni English o fe wo ye mi ojuban. O fe wo ni English ye jam ko me pa no me ka we kotokumi. It doesn't work that way. Okay, as mo me ni your English. Ona say wo fe na ke so mo ni boy say batashi na me ame na me ke ni ena me ni sana ma adu sana me fight. Because say people never agree against me na feel na he am. I don't care what English you get problem in your boy. You get problem here, Jimmy. Ono pa e man cheme fe ameka me musunyi. Ame dwen English here. Mo feel like o maye ni maya ken gbo nke. Because they mean o create mess. Ye Jimmy. O create mess. What na could document say fe Panbros. She told no we are until what no ba lo akeni e ba chon bu e. Ni pi eni sane wo wi. Ni bibi ni kesa ma check be ma check. Ni kesa ni ma check be ma check. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Eyi. Ma bakwa ni be ma de sai kanu musunye na ke minisani. Mi eto wo. Gana ka abacha Ghana mashi. Abacha ke bless you. Osha for you. I don't care. Abacha mashi. Amen si mess amen hanamo. But what is a lucky sipon ya de jele no mi no se ba ya de. E ti o te Chinese nyo. Loko ne mashike, ibe ka biasi. Wo ya jeme. Enemy wo se ayo ke jeme yo eje ke. Eni wo yo, we Ebenezer Secondary School ma se no, ni onyo ke ya jeme beton. Wa choka, wa chabo, wo ya o sa pe carpet. Aya. Oh, mini kula we bi ne tawo. Na ta na ho no fe no. Na me no ngomo amenu no kodon. Ni cheme na fi oni. Ni na me fi o. Ni moni no, ne fai ni English ke me ko kele ncha. English do ka English ni ncha yi. Ka ha ko no ko wa fi na kai. Ina ke ta basia we ku me wa ta ka ogbena ke wa ko mo yi. Ti be na ta ko mo yi. Mini sani. O ko mo yi wana mo. Ta fla wa papa ke wonyemi ni e file case file as what? Mi dad e mi ne file as what? So we don't care what kele ojo gba chane no mi ne file as what? Sa ne ba plan ye cho because we no shishi. Amenyo fe English bi. Alo je na gani tadi.
Na kan pepe.
What the Nii Kojo bo ke Nii Danso. English bi yenyo. Je mene ne ke. Ni mona sa na ke twa se pia mona sa na ke twa bo. Ameta sha menkwe. Na be se bi ata se ba ngmo wo mo. Mini kwa ya no ni nyemi nye ne nyemi ne. Ma ba. Mini kwa ni se ko ha mini ko bo wa ko to ke ya. Eji wo cheme na ba ho fe nkwe be ne se bo kan mo se. Wo cheme ke ja ba ho English ni bi fe nkwe. Kwenye ba na ku ponye ho. Oh, mini wo cheme ne fi o ne wo cheme mini ye fi o ne. Mini kwa ye tawo ye geleni. Ni gbomo ade sakume be ahoneke ba fake bad deals ba naka yoman naka bu amang ye bi ji wo yi nye nkrete mess yi nye bo nye ba chon woni emu nye bo nye mfite ma nye mo sa nye chon woni yi shi nye mo nye mfite ma nye gba ma nye musu bo ke musu nye de dwen wo se ni le ba na ne ba ye pe dwen ni de te ani ke na kan you se ke boss
Boy.
on se le ko na kan
When they
document sa
bash
represent
yeah. Kaka send me
I'm
no
bad on
money.
you mo ba yi ani mo kokoro wa yi
Eje. Abaje. Over the like mo show am yonu ni oja link what be na water. Ni Euro bi enye na nye wo.
So I don't care if I would like that any much on your guy.
Right.
Jamaican me by the friend de o manye really pi like okay wolo egg no fe no mi ya wo ni won na kashi onufu e fire wo ten wa na nche bia na fetu mu be ke onyo den fi o no ye awa ochun chikon e ni gbete na ko be ubanye ni oyi manche man ye jo man be injo abanya tubeko oneke sen wa nyele achina ya chemeson confio chemeson ta flache dane ni watashi ne nlepo keji manche koye ni ejon gan he ahun poni wa jon gan he papa mabe kun imbe sure ake manche koye ni jon gan he ahun po e wa jon gan he papa je ni ta flache to mi wo wi ma mi ake amelegbe no na mba achon baby e wo yu ake o ni bi kume na mele score le wa bi na wa gbabo No jike o tao no le. Shikaje ni lehi wo nye. Shimon omusun befan e wo nye. Be noni ji ankwale po. Alo noni ji gbepapa no po. Ya bo ni uba bi isade. No mi woyo ega. Onufun ni yo ega. Amekame musunye. Ame John. Ta flache mbe shopo aka ame John ame ukumai. Eja ke agbat wimpe ime na sani. Wo ke o fie no ko ta flache aye no fon ke nyo se. Ke so ye ba so wekuwe. Wo ko o fie no ko no fon na jin. Ke ni bi no dwen da no fon na jin. Chame dwen ya ke je mokomoko yo ame ba. Je mokomoko nye ma menye. Ame ba ya me musume wonpe. Ta flache no mo ne na to ne ni wo yu amesanji ne. Manche me na to ne. Ame fe ame weku ame bi ame nyeme ame mami me papa me fe. O ka ma afie no ko ni aba yu amesane fon. Ta flache na bu echi wa denche. Lile echi wa denche ke yue. Ni yue ge tri mi isa o ko se shi fe. O ko fe no ko wa dwen. Si we bi ame dwen wo e. Ame dwen wo e. No mba nang mene na mba ye. Beja ame afo. No ani wo chon mi. Onufu ison nyega. Ngete manshi ebie. Eto mpo.
Yeah. Aileje. Ka wagbina.
That many people by you. Fear me and sorry, what's running on Saturday. I've been drummer now, or Ujin fairness and I don't can any fairness, I don't know can it. Now I'm big na menoshin. All the mission. Games I know drummer now what I make me all the games any one mission. It's a game. Yeah. And to when I about a year, most of these games any are often it's for their own selfish interest. Being a benefit manko alo moko jem mambia alo yeah no, it's about dominance, it's about taking possessions of things and like enriching themselves. All the mission and nothing only couldn't appeal jeme Panbros too. Now no moko like meaning ya home no le so far me prostitutes ni job me akwa ake show ne ke shika na epo wanchie ko me ni waka feed gbeke bi alo waka pay gbeke bi a school fees waka hit back ya gbeke bi and you na ni no ko na no ko njano all the machine it's just about them how abana shika na atachoji ami all the machine I mama ni bi amama shian ke ni bi na nya wo me ke ni bi no so adwen mo ko ke afifi party agbagbo ka afifi party agbagbo ni amatra itole lele tole desi manke na kan song nonsense or machine just idiotic nonsensical maybe so no I don't think it's just for them, it's not just for anybody, and it's very sad I guess ana me only knew am say or I been news I mean na me knew am say no because song so no, na one it is feeling papa. What I got to show with it. It's just very simple. What I hear it is in the feeling papa. I wrote this in the about feeling listen. Be a knee. Mamma feel like I get a feeling. They go back on your wall. There's any actual uta. It doesn't make sense. Even in animal kingdom, they know how to protect their own. They know how to fight for their own.
Yeah.
Right? They know how to do that. But but my design, you work by the side, you are money or job na alu de maji. Call you and call jam. It's just animals if you in the king. Animals if you in the king. No, I don't think but I like you know can it touching no it touching ended last years. It touching what means if it more it's nimbo ha which what's you call it? But we be a kume. What I've been using. Then be need this I don't feel. What I mean. So I don't know, man. It's just crop of evil and like demonic uh incarnated beings ni alone come here New York. It's just they're just terrorizing people with all kinds of nonsense. It's crazy, man. It's everything I do is just bullshit. Shit. Everything's just bullshit, man. Like just bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. Just be my old man. Call it some old man. Malay. Call it some old man. I'm okay. I don't know how to describe them. Malay boy. Yeah, many try my leaders again. I don't know how to describe them. I'm telling you right now because if call it their own and they know how to defend and protect their own. Right? They know how to fight for their own. But many by this time, I'm my leaders, they are not doing the same. More about instigate, about incite me to fight against themselves and kill them. Yeah, go to animal kingdom. No question they can't go yano again though. The meaning of the right and you did go. So we're dealing with animals, man. Listen, they are even beyond animals. Yeah. And look at you all. And look at you all. And look at you all. What schools New York never was a family? What schools New York, Papa fan? No question, school you now home can it be $1,000? Nika home support one plot, and it's such GMP. I need more GMP. Stand your raise no okay, also for war school. Stand your raise. One plot of land can even generate more money to renovate a lot of schools. Yeah. What happened in New York? It's just nothing. It's like called you or no shit. Oh, the machine last night, I'm about this. It's lava. I just want this. I'm a fiend. I mean, like, I'm fine.
Anyways, yeah, I bet you we're talking no watch on now.
Charlie. Ewo na kan big ni ono cho ewo mukunye bia kashi na kan shika na mo yawo alumini ke fi. Chale wo sane e wawai. Ni ofa ne dani mu kwa itoko mie gan he.
Yeah.
Etani mo. Chale e musun sha ke dona ke mi fuke.
Yeah.
Ne abawo nye mi ate mbe mu. Ngene wana anu. Chale what well if I be like what
it's crazy. Yep. So
okay we sani ba only we want me documents eh you can me documents agbe ke won we wa we ke wale
okay.
ya na me go share me go gbe wa we ke he wale ni muni ani akele akebo ofi ne ka akele akebo ofi ne ke ibo ofi ne ke oni ba amo aba defend ne ka ke o ife ko na kai na je wo la chon la ke je ibo ne lo ka ke mo wolu en mali wolu bulu e mali wolu.
You see what some of these people forget, Jackie. These are companies. Every shikani badi I'm a covers me, they must account for it some way somehow. Especially keji ebale shikani I can pay shikmon no. It is not something about right off the books like I can no like I face some sort of an accounting gimmick kunak bachino. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? They are paying for.
Is there any way to solicit from these companies say who they are giving those
we can actually do
kind of
is it RTI? Yeah, that's what it is.
Request for information.
Yeah. We can actually do that. Yeah.
I think my page can get it.
Manjagoya Ishka.
Yeah, my company.
Yeah, Panbros.
Panbros. We'll work on that because on any side we don't understand. If you don't know account to us, we have to demand that account. Yeah, actually, when you make will be in day in and day out. I mean, come on, Charlie. Well, this is man.
What I got no.
Can you leave? The fact you're telling me what not be a ben for me. You tag I here, Clay. Charlie, yo, these people, they were fat, Charlie. It's mind blowing.
What I got they always create the misunderstanding between Asafumbi first. Because I'm a legacy Asafumbi and I'm a secret. So you know, they just put share power being
That's right.
Meneke. The Ghana police I've been looking Ghana police. From IGP down. I've been looking and Diana IGP and your that your own like I said 20
Yeah.
I've been those district police, circuit police, whatever division police near friend you are part of. I mean here I'm saying. So what they do, manja phone, net to police. I get more okay. No more for go. I get police you want to law labor. I get labor marketing. Or I mean, they put those misunderstanding between Asafumbi because I'm a like no the learners. I'm a year manchama saji. No je each one yo. Tafata me anyone at the school na me je like woku amine. Be a distance America je like imagine be na.
Yeah.
Or many by your hold the people when I accountable me bet.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm a bet. Or I know ashini again like imagine me Nakanoni Buguero Jamini. Nakawokuero Jamini, many of me, you are responsible. I can go out and I come with me. I may I draw me. She asked to harm me. What I mean, you scare me. I'm a wish to be a committee. I'm a wish to committee. What I mean, you, I will read it. So, I need to ask me if I can harm me. I'm a control me. What I mean, you, Panbros know you know yours and Prince, yeah, sky again. Yeah, it's Prince. I shan't go school. Let I sky again. I'm a family sky. What I mean is, no, I fight just to for Gazette. Can a Gazette no? I can present the Gazette. I can ice cap. I can take. Oh, Miss, where that funny. I mean, I compensation I can every year. I want billions of cities can harm. I'm an animal one. Oh, Miss, I'm an animal one. I can move your. I can't die. I can't just catch in a fan. I can't wait. The man be a suffer. Young English documents come on your. We just feel muji. What I mean, you. I can't be. I am a magua. I can't. I ain't fala.
You see, you want to pali se fe fite. Pali se koto. Jenu.
I get mama air falado. Back in Fala boy, the fala jam will be an air. Or actually, imbatable con. I don't know the fala jam. You can mama chichi. Fit. Or I took me fair. What a con. Fala. Ora, any so shabby. The man be a pin. Man be by me pin. Call ye Bible coins. Call ye Bible scat. Call ye Bible coins. Bible scat. But minister, I know one man for Ajima. But me few pet. But hallelujah. If a like a mom, I'm take me. Oh boy,
Anyways, yes. So, like I said, consider this as just the surface. More than about
preamble.
Yeah, it's preamble, exactly. I'll get some more facts, some more documents. And once again, I've given this out to the Bawi folks too. whatever documents now may have or like they can bring it. What can they want about put no against no yo again work so chemega nyeme nyefenye yi wala don ake nye ba fit away no ajonye wa de nche waka wani fe mo eba na gbe mene what obaba be with another show when aboni near yo once again when you men in your Ghana ke Europe won panya fai watch achake time so nyage jegbe nanye your Ghana because we had 5 hours instead of the usual 4 so neke kiawo oba nyele neke so ka tatu April mean that about chaki so I got about 4 hours back. So mean that you're finishing what for exactly 2 hours. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Bye bye.